Hey there, if you have a blog or are thinking about starting one and you found Kartra and want to give it a try, you'll need to watch this video first and see exactly how Kartra can and cannot be used with blogging. Hey guys, I'm John from IncomeMesh.com, and my whole goal is to help online entrepreneurs find their perfect tools to help grow their businesses online. And in this video, I want to cover a topic that is talked about quite frequently in the Facebook group for Kartra, and that is the topic around using Kartra and blogging, and how they work together, if one is the same as the other, how they can kind of live peacefully together. And I wanted to go ahead and just record this video to give you my thoughts and my opinions around Kartra and the blogging world, okay? And here's a couple of examples I found from the Kartra Facebook group when I just go in there and I search for blog or blogging. And you'll see a lady here saying that I understand Kartra doesn't have a blogging platform, but could you set up a blog using the membership site feature, one of the features of Kartra? Another member says, does anyone here use Kartra for a blog? And goes on and on and on. And essentially there is this, there's a desire of Kartra users and anybody who wants to go into Kartra to help simplify and kind of use this all-in-one platform to kind of cover all they need for their online business. And that's a very logical thing for somebody to want to do, is to help wherever they can become more simple and more efficient with their online business. And when it comes down to this, there's really two ways that you can go when it comes to considering Kartra as a blogging platform or using Kartra and blogging. And route one is Kartra is the only platform that you use. So for writing your blog posts, for doing your products, for doing your membership sites, Kartra is the only place you log into when you go to do your online business. The other option is running a blog separately and using Kartra for kind of that all-in-one marketing platform like it is. And I'll go ahead and tell you, we're going to cover both of these ideas, but there's clearly a right and a wrong way to do this. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. So the first option is trying to run everything in Kartra. And I'll go ahead and just break you the bad news. That's not a good idea. And there's three key reasons why. Reason number one is you have to understand that platforms like WordPress and all the other different blogging platforms, they're actually content management systems. And that's a fancy term that says that when you make a page or a post, it doesn't just live in that one little place. There's an entire way that WordPress manages your blog posts, so you can search for them, so that you can see them in these little blog reels. All this dynamic ways of managing your content that makes it easy for you to scale and grow and publish blog post after blog post, right? We all don't want to be here just for like a flash in the pan and we're gone a few months later. When we're going around the blogging route, we want to make sure that our business can stay and grow and scale with us. Now, let's look at Kartra on the other side. This is not a fault of theirs. This is a business direction, a vision of theirs. They're a page builder. They're not a full-blown content management system. You can organize the different pages into specific funnels, but it's not like you can create this header or footer that can be used across all of your sites dynamically. When you build a page, you build the page, and all the links in that, you'll need to kind of, every time you make an update, you'll want to go in and update all those links across all your pages. When you're first starting out, it doesn't seem like that big of a problem, but you have to think 1, 2, 3 years down the road, and when you have multiple menus, multiple sidebars, all these different things, it can start to grow a little hairy and a little bit difficult to manage, right? So that's reason one why I would not recommend using Kartra as your blogging platform. Reason number two is all about SEO, search engine optimization. And for this one, we're going to pop out of the slides and go in and show you some of the differences when it comes to trying to optimize your blog posts for search engine crawlers and spiders to get ranked on page one of Google, right? Because that is the whole goal of search engine optimization. But before we do that, let's just talk kind of conceptually. So why is SEO important? Well, SEO is a traffic source. And being able to create that organic traffic where people are searching for your term and they're finding you, that's incredibly valuable. But it can take time for you to build up that authority in being able to rank for those keywords that are most relevant to your niche. So when you think about funnels and page building software, it makes sense that they don't really focus on search engine optimization, because kind of building on point number one, a funnel is just a couple of pages. it's maybe a sales page, a checkout page, and et cetera, et cetera. They're not really hoping to build this amazing authority of, look at this amazing website that Google needs to recognize and put me up on page 1. It's just not their goal. It's not their real vision. So now we're going to go ahead and pop out of the slides. I'll show you a couple things in WordPress and a couple things in Kartra to kind of make this point very clear. Okay, let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, so I've pulled up an example long form sales page, and this is one of the example templates that come with everyone's Kartra account, which is a really good template written by Frank Kern. And as you scroll through, there's probably 1,000, 2,000 words on this sales page. Maybe not that many, but it would be one where you would hope it could rank. If this is selling a specific product that's serving a specific audience, there's a good chance that if it was worded correctly and optimized for search engines, that you could actually find this when looking for that solution or that we're trying to solve that problem. But let me show you a couple of the reasons why this would probably never show up in an organic search engine. So first of all, this is a big header right here. This is the headline of the entire thing. It's obviously just lorem ipsum kind of placeholder text right now, but you can imagine this would be the big call to action that would likely have the keyword that you would want to have found on Google. In WordPress, which we'll see in a second, you would want to tell Google that this is a header. This is an important piece of text, and that kind of helps organize your blog post and all these things to make it findable and to help Google understand exactly what it is the purpose of that blog post was. But here, as we look through our ability to change this, we can bold it, italicize it, do a bunch of different things. We can change the font and the size of the font, but there's nowhere to actually declare this piece of text as being an important header, whether it be a header 2 or a header 3. There's nowhere to actually tell the search engines that this is something that you want to have found. So this is a big no-no when it comes to search engine optimization. That basically tells Google there's just a whole bunch of a whole bunch of words on a page, and Google's trying to figure out what to do with that. And it doesn't want to, right? And I don't blame them for it. You want to make sure if you are trying to use search engines to help bring traffic, which is a really good idea, that you organize your posts to show that importance. Okay, so now let me show you over a blog post on WordPress, and this is a post that I wrote not too long ago. And it's using Thrive Architect, which is a front-end editor. It's kind of similar to Kartra's page builder experience, but the difference is this is built on WordPress, and this is built to be a blogging platform. So if I look here is a header, which is a main point on my post, and you'll notice that I can actually say, hey, this is a heading. This is the second most important heading on this post, right underneath the title of the post. So the title up here, Google Analytics not accurate, that is an H1, etc. We're not going to get into all the details of search engine optimization, but that's the reason why Kartra is not built for search engine optimization. Another reason, while we're on the SEO point, is you do have the ability in Kartra to set SEO parameters, where you can kind of give it a description where if it does get found on the search engine, you can tell it what you want the little snippet to be to kind of show you what that page is. But this just isn't really enough meat on the bones when it comes to trying to make sure this is set up for search engine optimization. Now, back into the slides here, the last point after SEO is simply alignment with the company vision. So if you think about a company like WordPress, it is a blogging platform. It is there to be the best in the world at blogging. Kartra is not trying to be the best in the world at blogging, so this is why I don't think option 1 is a good idea at all. What is a good idea, though, is option 2, and this is where you're running a WordPress blog and Kartra together. And the benefits behind this is that you can minimize your plugin madness, like I like to call it. You want to do so many things with your website. You want to have live chat. You want to have notifications. You want to have a cool countdown timer. Pretty much every one of those things you want to add to your website is going to be another plugin, another tool, another thing to kind of add into the pie, and it can create some madness. It can create a whole bunch of problems, which if you've tried that before, You can create conflicts. You have to update all your plugins. Oftentimes, each one of the tools or things you're using has its own fee, which can add up. So being able to use an all-in-one marketing platform with the best-in-breed blogging platform makes a lot of sense. And that kind of goes into number 2 and number 3, where WordPress and Kartra, let them do what they do best, and maybe try not to intermingle them too much and try to make Kartra do what WordPress is supposed to do and vice versa. The last point on the benefits of doing this model is I like to call it the 80-20 beauty of Kartra. So Kartra as a tool does pretty much everything you would need to have a successful online business. It does the video hosting for your most important videos. It does help desks. It does wiki articles. It does membership sites for online courses, all these different things you would want. And as you grow over time with your online business, you'll start tacking these things on. But if you were to just go and figure out, okay, if these are the tools I really need, can I say goodbye to some of the other kind of unnecessary things that I've tacked on over time with my own tool set? And when you can when you can whittle down to those bare necessities of the marketing platform tools, you can actually focus on marketing your products. You can actually focus on selling and on creating products and on serving your audience instead of focusing on just the technical wizardry of trying to make it all talk together and make it all work together. And so by being able to take WordPress and Kartra and as little else, as little other tools as you need, those two tools together can really create a fluid and a dynamic system that can serve you and scale with you over time. So I'm going to be transparent with you. Like, it's not all, beautiful. There are some downsides to doing WordPress and Kartra together. One of them is it's not a perfect integration yet. And what I mean by that is you can't just take a Kartra built page. Let's say you make your home page and you make it awesome. You have pop-ups, you have exit intents, you have all sorts of cool things on it. It doesn't just go into your WordPress site nicely. You can embed it, which works pretty well, but it kind of creates a little bit of a bad experience for your users. It can be a little bit slower than just loading a page natively from your blog. And some other small things. I know they're going to work on bringing these two platforms better together, and Kartra is still a new platform. So I say it's not a perfect integration yet, but it's still something to be aware of as you go. And with number 2, with Kartra, you get what you get. This is the kind of, if you are a perfectionist and you need everything to be exactly how you want it, Kartra may not be the tool for you. For example, on your emails, there is a little logo that says it was sent by Kartra. It's right for them to do that, right? I mean, they're using Kartra Mail, but being that you're paying for a service, you might not want to have that logo on there, and maybe you want to put your own logo there. So there's just small little things that, because it's an all-in-one platform, you get all or none, right? Like you have to choose. And where I think this is exactly with point number 4 on the benefits, where the 80-20, if you can get over the small stuff and kind of like don't sweat the small stuff and focus on the bigger picture, I don't think that's going to be a problem for you. You need to support your customers with a support chat. So boom, they give you a support chat. Is it the best support chat on the market? Maybe not. But is that what you need? Or do you need something that's going to function, get you to where you need to be so you can move on with the next task? And those are just things you have to kind of think about in yourself and decide what's important to you. So those are options 1 and options 2. But what about option 3? And this is, what if you decide that Kartra just isn't for you? What do you do next? If you decide to go down the route of building your own tool set, you're going to talk about building your own digital marketing stack. And this is a topic that's way too deep to dive into right now. It's a topic that you could honestly write a book about. And a few months ago, because I was really passionate about this and I was looking at different tools for myself, I decided to go ahead and write that book. And so I wrote the book called Get Stacked. It's a short little, probably 25-page ebook, but it goes through a ton of different tools and gives an honest review of how they work together, which tools integrate nicely with each other. And Kartra is mentioned in that as being one of the kind of shortcuts that gets you to that 80-20 beauty of Kartra. So if you're interested in getting this free ebook and kind of checking it out and seeing if you want to go down the path of building your own stack, which is really fun if you enjoy that type of thing, but it can be really terrifying if you're not techie and don't want to deal with all the talking and the decisions you have to make along the way. Go ahead and go to incomemesh.com/stacked. There's a link in the description below and check it out. It's a nice little quick read and a lot of benefits, a lot of value in it. So kind of as a wrap up here, what is your preferred stack? Are you going to go down the route of trying to make Kartra your only tool you log into? It can work. You'll have to pay for your traffic because you're not going to get as much organic traffic with search engines, but it could work. Having membership sites, you could make a blog-ish thing kind of work. It's not my recommendation. I would recommend for two different types of people, two different things. If you want simplicity, but you want to be effective and you want to be able to scale, I think that having a WordPress blog with Kartra as kind of everything else is a great solution. But if you're one who wants to have everything pixel perfect, you want to be able to design everything exactly right and make sure every page looks perfectly, the way you want it, you're probably going to want to build your own stack and deal with some of the frustrations that comes along with that. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just really up to you. So I hope this is a helpful video. Again, I'm John from incomemesh.com. If you enjoyed this and want to get more of this type of content, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and click the bell to get notified whenever I release a new video. All right, guys, talk to you in the next one.